Welcome back, lore lovers. You've returned to Liandrug, where the stars whisper legends and the past marches alongside us. Today, we journey through the rise and fall of one of the greatest conquerors the Imperium has ever known, a commander whose name still echoes across the void, Lord Solar Macharius. From his earliest triumphs to the final haunted silence at the edge of the galaxy, this is his story. In the early years of the 41st millennium, as the Imperium slowly emerged from the wreckage of the Age of Apostasy, a boy was born on the civilized world of Donia. His name was Macharius, son of planetary governor Pella. By his early 20s, he had already proven himself a brilliant commander of the Astra Militarum. His rise was swift. During the brutal Roxane rebellion, Macharius not only crushed the uprising but saved the life of Lord Commander Solar Philips. Recognizing his brilliance, Philips named Macharius his successor. When Philips fell in battle during the Le Mort landings in 386 Millennium 41, Macharius assumed command, becoming the youngest Lord Commander Solar and War Master in Imperial history. In these early years, he gathered his most loyal commanders, Sejanus, Borgon, Crassus, Tarka, Arian, Lysander of Choripoli, and Cyrus of Laurentine. Together they would shape the future of 1,000 worlds. Macharius's inauguration brought him to Terra for the first and only time. From there he launched swift and decisive campaigns on Land's End, Morbellum and the Jalfrezi III, bolstered by Donian regiments. But these victories were only the beginning. He petitioned the Senatorum Imperialis for something greater, a campaign to rival even the Emperor's own Great Crusade. The request was granted, and the greatest Imperial armada in Millennia assembled. In 392 Millennium 41, the Macharian Crusade began. From the shrine world of Macharia, his armies launched into the Segmentum Pacificus, reclaiming lost Imperial worlds and bringing the light of the Emperor into the darkness. The first major trial came on the world of Karsk, ruled by the cult of the Angel of Fire. Behind their false prophet lurked a Lord of Change, a demon of Zinj. Wounded but defiant, Macharius rejected its promises and cast down the creature in the Emperor's name. The conquest spread like wildfire. On Persepolis, Macharius re-established Imperial contact after 5 millennia and unearthed the tomb of Indigena the Vagrant, claiming the golden-winged helm buried within. On Saga Fort, a bolter round embedded itself in Macharius's chest but did not detonate. To the Ecclesiarchy, this was a divine sign. In 395, Millennium 41, General Arian's 6th Army Group seized Thoth with reinforcements from Macharius himself. That same year began the long and grueling siege of Adrantis V, a technologically advanced world that resisted for nearly 2 years. Crassus's army suffered catastrophic losses, over 90%, before Macharius ended the stalemate by hurling a comet upon the planet, forcing its surrender. In 397 Millennium 41, a massive orc war clashed with the Crusade. Macharius was wounded by the war boss in brutal close combat, but recovered swiftly, pushing onward into unexplored space. The pace of conquest was staggering. 100 worlds in the first year, 300 more in the second, over 700 by the third. Each world was subdued, its resistance crushed and pacified, its population brought under the rule of fate and steel. The Ecclesiarchy and the Inquisition followed, burning out heresy and planting the seeds of Imperial order. If you've made it this far into the legend, then you, my fellow lore lover, are one of us. So take a moment, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and help Liandrug grow. With your support I can continue bringing more tales from the darkest corners of the galaxy. By 399 Millennium 41, Macharius had driven his forces into the very edge of the galaxy, into the haunted silence of the Halo Zone. Beyond this void, the Emperor's Astronomicon no longer reached. The stars were said to be cursed, and scouts who returned told ghost worlds and spectral horrors. Here, the Crusade faltered. Navigators warned of dangerous warp currents. Astropaths could no longer send messages home. Troops, worn by endless war, pleaded with Macharius to turn back. No enemy had broken them, but the unknown finally had. Macharius was enraged. He accused his men of cowardice and betrayal, and locked himself away in silence and drink. Days later he emerged, sober and silent, and gave the order to return. His armies cheered him, but within, Macharius was a broken man. His dream of eternal conquest had ended not in battle, but in the hearts of men. During the return journey in 400 Millennium 41, Macharius succumbed to a jungle fever he had contracted on Jucha. He died quietly, far from the battlefield, his final breath slipping away in transit. Yet in death, his legend only grew. His body was returned to Macaria, where a funeral of unmatched scale unfolded. 1,000,000 troops marched, 100 generals laid down their swords. The High Lords of Terra, Tech Priests of Mars, and Ecclesiarchal Cardinals all came to pay tribute. Soon after, the Adeptus Ministorum canonized him as a saint, and Macaria was transformed into a shrine world, drawing millions of pilgrims each Terran year. But his empire did not survive him. Without his command, his generals turned on each other. The Macharian Heresy erupted, a civil war that lasted 70 years. Petty warlords carved territories from the worlds Macharius had won, forcing the Imperium to send in the Adeptus Astartes to restore order. And yet, even his death was wrapped in shadow. Some records claim he perished not on Jucha, but during the siege of Loki, slain by a chaos cultist while battling his fallen general Richter, who had turned to Nurgle. Others whisper of Inquisitor Drake's betrayal, of deliberate sabotage, of an officio assassinorium agent silencing both Macharius and the Inquisitor to preserve the purity of his myth. Lord Solar was a title, one granted to War Masters of the Imperium and rarely used since the days of Horus. It is a name of power, a name of burden, and one held by few, but none have borne it as he did. Macharius, Lord Solar, Saint of the Imperium, the last conqueror of the stars. And so ends the tale of Lord Solar Macharius, a man whose ambition knew no bounds and whose legacy shaped the stars. If this journey stirred your curiosity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for those who crave deeper discussions and cozy lore nights, join our Discord, where lore lovers gather, speculate, and breathe life into the forgotten. Until next time, stay curious and keep the light of the Emperor close.